Hey there, welcome back to the channel. So if you want to be a software engineer, want to build things or do anything with computers and users, you will come across APIs someday for sure. And from my small experience in this software engineering, what I have understood is that everything that we see is kind of an API. For example, starting from clicking that button in Amazon that gets you your product to Alexa listening to you and responding back to you, everything is using an API. So it's pretty important that we know how to play with APIs, and Postman is just the software for that. Or it helps us in testing the APIs or developing them or integrating them. For example, a backend developer is creating an API, right? So he's developing it and he can use Postman to send requests to the endpoints he's making now, that's to see that, hey, is it working? Or do I need to tweak something? Now, if you're a front-end or UI engineer, you want to integrate those APIs that the backend developer has made into the app so that the user can see things dynamically happen on the app, right? So in this process, there is so before Postman and this kind of softwares who make a playground for APIs, there was nothing. You needed to kind of go to Google Chrome or something and just paste that localhost URL and see, hey, is this API working? Go to your network tabs and see bunch of red errors and whatnot. But with Postman, it's kind of the software that takes that untidy, messy process and makes it super clean and super awesome. So it's kind of the thing which most of the engineering teams are using nowadays, and most probably you'll be recommended to use that when you want to play with APIs. So after watching this video, you will know how you can get started using Postman, how to make requests using Postman. I'll show you all kinds of requests like get, post, update and stuff, and I'll show you some pro things like variable setting in Postman so that you don't have to type one thing with every request, and how you can send authentication tokens, because some APIs like authentication they need to check that you are the legit user who is sending this request, right? So how to send a token on a request, all these things. So basically, after watching this video, you will be super good at Postman, and yeah, you can use it anywhere you want. It will be not a new thing for you. So let's just jump onto my screen. Okay, cool. So this is postman.com. If you're coming in for the first time, first I'll recommend just select your the kind of OS you're running in and just download the software for that, native software, and then I'll recommend just sign up for it, because in result of that you can just the things that you work on, the APIs or requests that you make will be synchronized wherever you log in. Like if you change systems, you'll have the same data, right? So just sign up for it. So then after you do all these things, when you go to postman.com, you will come across this your home page. This is their home page. I have logged in, so I'm sort of showing my name. Now I have Windows, so I have downloaded the Windows app, so I'll just open that. So this is the Windows thing. I guess it will be pretty similar in all the OS, so you don't have to worry about that. Cool. So this is your home page. This is your things. Now you have workspaces in Postman. So first, so if you don't have one, you can just make a new workspace. Now you can have different workspaces. For example, if you're working at one of your personal projects, you can make a workspace for that. You are working at a company, you can make a workspace for that. So I have made this my workspace where I keep all my requests and stuff. So I'll just get into that. Postman software kind of seems a bit overwhelming when you see it at first, because there are kind of lot of functionalities, which is pretty good. But if you are starting out, it will seem it seemed to me like a lot when I saw it for the first time. But when you start using this stuff, you'll be like, okay, that is super awesome. Okay, so let's start working on it, right? Let's make our API requests. So in each workspace you have collections. You can add different collections. Now what does this collections mean? For example, you have made this workspace for a company you're working with. Now you have a product and you have many features. So I can have API for payments, I can have my API for users, and I want to store it as a collection because I don't want to make things messy, right? So you can add different collections here. So you can add as much collection as you want according to which APIs you want to store. I'll name this go rest, because that's API will be using a simple free API that I found, which is totally working. So go rest, I'll name it. And exactly like that, you can see here the name of the collection changed. You can name payments or whatever your collections name depending on the kind of APIs it stores, because that just makes things clean. And as you can see here, I made this extra one which you don't need, so you can either just right click or press this 3 dots and delete them. Super simple, right? And I need to work with this go rest things, right? So I'll get into that. And as you can see here, when I click it, it says add a request, right? So here we will have request. It will show all the requests. For example, here if I show you, we have some of the get, post, get, put, all this kind of requests. And exactly like that, I will just add a request here, right? And for your information, I'll be using this gorest.co.in, which is just an API. It's nothing. It's a free hosted API that you can use to test things. So if I just click this should give me the users the server has, right? So if I just click this without Postman, you will see something like this. And even this with our extension installed, else you will just get a very shitty looking thing, right? So to make this process really cool and in one place, Postman helps. So I want to get all these things now and to put this thing in my collection, right? So what I will do here is that copy this thing, right? Copy link address and go to my Postman. So here, so in a request, in a new request, you can first of all change the name of the request. When you work on things, you have to do that because you might share this collection to anyone else and he needs to know what is happening here. So I will name this thing get users, because I'm getting users with this API, right? Get users, and the name will change here. And here you can tell, okay, what is the type of request? Is it a post request? Are you putting something in the server, or it is a put request or a patch request? Are you editing something, right? But it is a get request. I'm just making a request and getting things, right? So here I'll paste the URL that gives me the users. I'll just hit send and boom, you can see super clean. You have the things that the API returns. Now if you are a UI engineer, you will see, okay, this is the data I get back. Okay, cool. So okay, I can use this ID name by going to data object, and that's how you know how you integrate things, right? So yeah, that's how you can watch this in different ways, like raw, but you'll mostly use this pretty because we want to see pretty things, right? That is a get user, and that is done. Now let me show you how you can post things into. For example, you want to post a user and test that, how that works. So here I'll add a request and I'll name it post user. Right now here you will also know, so to post things you need a token. If you don't know, to post things you need to be, so to get things, anyone can get things, right? But to post things you need to be a user, and how the server will know you are a user is by looking at a token that you receive every time you log into the app. So first what I will do here is that I will just go to this this go rest, and here they have an option to click here to get access token. Click that and it just shows me a token. I have logged in, and I'll just copy that. I'll go back to Postman, and here you'll see an authorization tab. Just go there, and it is a bearer type token. Bearer auth, there are lots of type of authentication you can do, but it is the most common bearer token one. It is that. So here you can paste the token that you copied. Right now I have pasted that. You can now save this by Ctrl+S. You'll see this orange things go nothing. Cool. So authorization is set up. Now if you don't know how requests work, there are basically some things that go with the header, and authorization is one of them. So when you do this, when you set this token, Postman automatically adds this token into your headers, right? So this rectangle, this area is all about requests. What are you sending with the requests, and all about that. So you can send authorization tokens, you can see what headers are you sending, you can just add some things here. Sometimes you need to send other things, user ID and stuff. Here you can add the key to that, the value to that. and in the body you can add basically anything that you want to send. And this is a post request. I want to post a user, so I want to post things about the user. So this is a call request it shows, but just understand that if it's dash h, it goes in headers, and if it's dash d, it goes in body or the data, right? So this is what you have to send. This is the format of the thing: name, gender, email, status in the body. So if I will just try to copy this much, come back to our Postman, go to the body, because here I will set things that I want to send, as I told you. So this will be a raw JSON data, right? So select JSON, just Control plus V. I'll selected all of this. I'll just remove all this stuff. Cool. Now if I just press beautify, it will set it in very nice way. This is how Postman, so this is why Postman is super useful, right? Now these are the things I want to send to the server, that hey, this is a post request first of all. Now, right, I'm posting things. Now I will get the post URL, which it should be showing here: post public /v1/users, and this is the domain, so just add it here. So this is the full request. So this is all we need to do to make a post request. In authorization, I added a token to say, hey, I'm a legitimate user, let me in, let me post the user. And in the body, I just gave the information that I want to be posted about the user, right? And what I will do now is just hit send. So make sure to give it a make sure to make it a post request, because it is post, not a get request. You're not getting things, right? We don't want to get things, we want to post, right? So hit send, and boom, and it says okay, so the email has already been taken. So it worked, but it says that hey, the email has already been taken. I'll just make some things here, and I'll send it again, and boom, there we go. The data has been returned. It is 201. The request has been fulfilled and resulted in a new resource being created. So our request was a success, right? We have made the user now. So that's how you make a post request. That's how you pass authentication. Just select the type of authentication and give a token here. It automatically adds things here. If you want anything else to send in headers, you can just add them directly here. And if you want to send things in body, you can do this, right? Now what if I want to update things? Now let's see things for that. If you want to patch things, right? So if I'll see, the ID of my user is 211. So here it says this is the URL for, this is basically the ID of the user you want to edit things on, right? So what I will do now is that let's make a new request for that. So add request in my collection. I'll say hey, this updates user, and it is not a get request, it is a patch request, because patch means what? You are patching something, you are editing something, right? So that's that. And now I will just see, this is the path for that. 1 to 3 is the ID of the user you want to modify things about. So that's that. The domain, I'll just copy it again from here. Now see, this is a tedious process of just copying this domain every time, but we can solve that by using this thing as a set as a variable, and I'll show you how to do that. Let me just make this patch request first. So boom, this is ready. Now with patch request, what we need, obviously we need authorization, because we are making an edit to a user, right? So we'll do exactly that. Just copy this, go to the authorization, select bearer token, put the thing here, put the token here. It will automatically get added to your headers, requests headers. And then in the body, I want to say okay, I want to change something. So I'll say what are the things I want to change, right? So make it JSON, and here I'll say I want the name to be, so we saw, right, the name was, so these are the things the user has. So basically I want to make the name and the email different, right? So I'll say hey, the name should be now Sam, and and the email email will be now a@b.com, right? So this is the things I want to change. This is my URL is set up. I'll just add this ID. So this is the ID you get after creating this user. So I want to change things of this user, so I'll pass this ID in the URL, and I'm just following this thing right here, right? This is the thing. And if you want to even see what to send, you can just go here in this examples. You can see here in the update user, you can send what things you can send as data or the body by -d, or this is the headers, right? Cool. So it is sending the name and the email, and exactly I'm doing that, right? So if I now send it, boom, you just get the ID is the same, the user is the same. We just changed its name and its email, right? The gender is still same, everything is same. So a patch request to work. So that is how the basics of Postman work. That is how you make a request, and most of the time you will just be doing this as a programmer and building things. Okay, now let me show you how variables work. Okay, now you don't need variables with just these 2-3 things, but when you are working on real big projects, or a product or a startup or anywhere big, you will have a collection with lot of things getting shared. There will be new domain names coming up, and there will be one for the developers, there will be one for the production, all these things happening. Now every time these changes happen, you want to test some API. You don't want to just go to all the requests in the APIs, all the 10 to 20 requests, and just change every time you want to test something. You want to have a variable, like you want to just change in one thing, and you want that to reflect upon every request, right? So how to do that? So first of all, I'll copy this because I want to make this a variable, right? So either you can do this set as a variable, but I'll show you the area from where the variables work. So just go to rest or your collections, click on that, and you'll see your variables, right? So click on that, and here you can add variables. Just call this variable, let's say site URL or something, and then I'll give it a value, which will be this go rest this thing. Right now, just make sure there is a tick mark, and I'll just save this. And now if I go to get users, and here I'll just and here I'll remove the part that I set as variable, and here I'll just mention the variable. And you mention a variable by just doing 2 curly brackets, and inside this 2 curly brackets you write the name of the variable, which in my case is site URL, right? So now it's showing very red, but see, when it senses that okay, there is a variable named that, it will be orange. So boom, it is orange now. So it saw that okay, it exists, right? Now if I just remove the L, unresolved variable, right? Now if I want to test it that hey, if this works, I'll just send, and yeah, you're getting the request. That means that it is working fine. Now you can just copy this and paste this in all your requests. Now once this is done, you can just change things here, and it will reflect on every request of yours. And you can do this anywhere. For example, if you want to send even the token can be also added in the here, right, like that. For example, if I just say token, and boom, there we go. And here I'll just save this, go to my authorization, and here I'll just add token, right? Boom. Now that is all you need to do. Now you don't have to copy paste that whole string everywhere. You can just paste it in one in your variables, and you can use this variable anywhere you want, right? You can do this anywhere. Just remember to use 2 curly brackets, and it will know you are using a variable. That's how you use a variable in Postman. Now let's come to something that you will come across when you are joining a team. When you are joining a team, they will mostly, and you are working with APIs and making stuff, they will mostly share a collection of Postman API requests, right? So how to import that? So imagine this is the thing, this is a collection I have made. I'm a backend developer, imagine, and I have made this, and now I want to share this with a UI engineer who just joined the team. How will I do that? And here you will see this share thing, right? Press that, go to via JSON link, then it will give you this link right here. Right now you can copy that. Now you can just copy this link and share it to your friend. Right now, after you get this link, how you can import this collection to your Postman. Right, so if I just copy this, now I open my Postman, and here I will go to my file, import. Here you'll see a link thing. Right, you have got a link, and you will paste that link here, and will continue, and it will just see you just found out this Go REST API, right? And I'll just press import here, and it will say me already exists because I already have this thing and I'm just using the same account. But you can just share it to anyone, and that's how you export and import things, right? I can import it as a copy too, so there we go, Go REST copy, and that's how I just shared and exported and imported this, right? Cool. So that was all about Postman, and I just wanted to make this because when you just first see Postman, it kind of seems like this really overwhelming thing, but it's pretty clean and pretty awesome. So do let me know if you learned something from this video, got some value out of it, and obviously if you loved this, make sure to smash that subscribe button. That means a lot, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, have a great day and keep building.